The divine truth is greater than any religion or creed or scripture or idea or philosophy. True knowledge is not attained by thinking. It is what you are, it is what you become. There is nothing mind can do that cannot be better done in the mind's immobility and thought-free stillness. When mind is still, then truth gets her chance to be heard in the purity of the silence. Our actual enemy is not any force exterior to ourselves, but our own crying weaknesses, our cowardice, our selfishness, our hypocrisy, our purblind sentimentalism. The first principle of true teaching is that nothing can be taught. The whole world yearns after freedom, yet each creature is in love with his chains. This is the first paradox and inextricable knot of our nature. The great are strongest when they stand alone, a God-given might of being is their force. Man is a transitional being. He is not final. The step from man to Superman is the next approaching achievement in the Earth evolution. It is inevitable because it is at once the intention of the inner spirit and the logic of nature's process. Do not belong to the past dawns, but to the noons of future. Peace is the first condition, without which nothing else can be stable. Our human knowledge is a candle burned on a dim altar to a sun-vast truth. A quiet mind does not mean that there will be no thoughts or mental movements at all, but that these will be on the surface, and you will feel your true being within, separate from them, observing but not carried away. The supreme state of human love is the unity of one soul and two bodies. What the soul sees and has experienced, that it knows, the rest is appearance, prejudice and opinion. Watch the two indignantly righteous. Before long you will find them committing or condoning the very offense which they have so fiercely censured. But few are those who tread the sunlit path, only the pure in soul can walk in light. Each victory gained over oneself means new strength to gain more victories. The soul in man is greater than his fate. He who chooses the infinite has been chosen by the infinite. The consciousness of the seer is a greater power for knowledge than the consciousness of the thinker. The perceptual power of the inner sight is greater and more direct than the perceptual power of thought. To listen to some devout people, one would imagine that God never laughs. Love is the keynote, joy is the music, knowledge is the performer, the infinite all is the composer and audience. Evolution of consciousness is the central motive of terrestrial existence. While doing work, if the mind continues to be active, let it be so, but there must be at the same time a capacity for silence. Care not for time and success. Act out thy part, whether it be to fail or to prosper. Is it true that existence consists only in the action of energy? Or is it not rather that energy is an output of existence? A thought is an arrow shot at the truth. It can hit a point, but not cover the whole target. But the archer is too well satisfied with his success to ask anything farther. My love is not a hunger of the heart, my love is not a craving of the flesh, it came to me from God, to God returns. The supreme end is the freedom of the spirit. Sin and virtue are a game of resistance we play with God in his efforts to draw us towards perfection. One who loves God finds the object of his love everywhere. The anarchic is the true divine state of man in the end as in the beginning, but in between it would lead us straight to the devil and his kingdom. Sit in meditation. But do not think. Look only at your mind. You will see thoughts coming into it. Before they can enter, throw these away from your mind till your mind is capable of entire silence. The spiritual path is one of falling on your face, getting up, brushing yourself off, turning and looking sheepishly at God and then taking the next step. All existence is a manifestation of God. Yoga is a generic name for any discipline by which one attempts to pass out of the limits of one's ordinary mental consciousness into a greater spiritual consciousness. The only work that spiritually purifies us is that which is done without personal motives. Outside and above the mind there is the play of a consciousness which is lighted by the higher truth, but man is not conscious of it and of that he has to be conscious. Trust the divine power, and she will free the godlike elements in you and shape all into an expression of divine nature. But difficulties were made to be overcome, and if the supreme will is there, they will be overcome. The fly that touches honey cannot use its wings, so too the soul that clings to spiritual sweetness ruins its freedom and hinders contemplation. If a religion is not universal, it cannot be eternal. A narrow religion, a sectarian religion, an exclusive religion can live only for a limited time and a limited purpose.